Good morning, my friends. I want to speak to you today about a powerful concept. Don't tell people about your problems. It's so easy to get caught up in sharing our struggles, our hardships, our challenges with those around us. And while it's okay to seek help and comfort, there's a deeper truth we must understand. We need to protect our peace and guard the words that come out of our mouths. You see, when you talk too much about your problems, you give them power. You let them take root in your heart and mind. You let them define you. But today, I want to remind you that your future is bigger than your present struggles, and your words have the power to shape your reality. So what do we do instead? Let me share with you 8 key points that will help you rise above your circumstances and live a victorious life. Your words have incredible power, far more than we often realize. Every time you speak, you are either building or tearing down. You are either moving closer to your goals or pushing them further away. The words you speak have the ability to shape your reality for good or for good. Too often we get caught in the habit of speaking about our problems, repeating the struggles we're facing, or expressing our frustrations. But every time you speak about your problems, you are simply giving them more life and allowing them to dominate your thinking. The truth is, we have the power to change our circumstances, and it starts with the words we use. When you speak about your problems, what you're really doing is acknowledging the limitations they create. You might not realize it, but with every word, you reinforce the idea that your problems are bigger than you. They begin to consume your mind and energy. You can't focus on solutions when you're constantly talking about your struggles. Instead of framing your life around what is going wrong, why not start speaking words that point toward what is going right? Words of hope, strength, and possibility can become the foundation on which you build your future. It's important to remember that words are not just sounds we make, they're a reflection of our thoughts. What you speak is a direct result of what you believe. If you find yourself talking constantly about your challenges, it may be a sign that you're allowing them to take root in your mind. The more you talk about your difficulties, the more your thoughts will be consumed by them. This is why it's so critical to guard your words carefully. If you're going to speak about anything, let it be about your dreams, your potential, and the positive steps you're taking toward a brighter future. The more you speak in alignment with your vision, the more that vision becomes your reality. Words, when spoken frequently, become like seeds planted in the soil of your mind. Just like a seed grows into a tree, your words grow into actions, habits, and ultimately the reality you experience. If your words are filled with negativity, doubt, and fear, you will begin to see those qualities manifest in your life. But if your words are filled with faith, confidence, and possibility, your actions will reflect those qualities, and you'll begin to move toward the life you desire. The more you talk about what you want, not what you don't want, the more you will start attracting the opportunities, people, and experiences that align with your desires. In the same way that we guard our hearts from negative influences, we must also guard our mouths. It's easy to complain, to vent, or to focus on the difficulties we're facing. Sometimes it feels better to talk about our problems than to hold them inside. But the truth is, the more you talk about your struggles, the more they begin to dominate your thoughts and emotions. Your words set the tone for your day, your week, and ultimately your life. If you start your day with negative language, complaints, frustrations, and worries, you are already setting yourself up for a day that will reinforce those negative emotions. On the other hand, if you choose words of gratitude, encouragement, and positivity, you will find yourself more energized and focus on the opportunities ahead of you. There's another layer to this, and it's about the people around you. We all know that certain people in our lives can drain us with their constant talk of problems and complaints. It can feel like we're caught in a cycle of negativity that never seems to end. This is why it's so important to surround yourself with people who speak life, not just about their own lives, but also about yours. When you speak positive words over your situation, you create an atmosphere of hope and possibility. You attract people who uplift and encourage you. If you're constantly sharing your problems with others, you may unknowingly create a cycle of negativity that can impact both you and those around you. Instead of focusing on your hardships, choose to speak words that inspire those around you to rise above their circumstances as well. Another powerful aspect of guarding your words is understanding that not everyone needs to hear about your problems. It's not about being secretive or hiding your struggles, but rather being wise in who you confide in. There's a time and place to seek counsel and support. But there's also a time to remain quiet and protect your peace. Not every person in your life needs to be privy to every detail of your journey. By sharing less about your struggles with others, you prevent yourself from constantly reinforcing the negative energy that could hold you back. Focus on solutions, on healing, and on moving forward. When you do speak, speak with purpose. Speak as though the words you say are creating the world you want to live in, because in many ways they are. Finally, guarding your words is not just about protecting yourself from negativity. It's about cultivating a mindset that believes in possibilities. The words you speak should reflect your vision for the future. It's not enough to simply avoid speaking about your problems. You must actively speak words that uplift, encourage, and empower. Speak words that align with the person you are becoming, not just the person you are right now. Words of affirmation, of hope, and of strength will set the foundation for the future you're creating. Don't let your current challenges define you or limit you. Instead, use your words to remind yourself of your strength, resilience, and the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. In the end, the simple truth is this: you are the sum total of the words you speak. You shape your reality every day with your thoughts, your beliefs, and most importantly, the words you choose. When you guard your words, you protect your future. You begin to take control of your destiny, one word at a time. In life, challenges are inevitable. We all face difficulties at some point, whether in our personal lives, our careers, or in our relationships. However, the key to overcoming these challenges lies not in focusing on the problem itself, but on the solution. Focusing on problems is like driving your car while looking only in the rearview mirror. You might be able to see what's behind you, but you're not moving forward. Instead, you have to shift your focus from the difficulty at hand to the potential solutions that can help you move forward. This shift in focus is transformative because it aligns your energy with the possibility of success rather than the weight of failure. When you focus on a problem, your mind naturally gravitates towards the obstacles, the barriers, and the reasons why something can't be done. You get stuck in the why me mentality, and your energy drains as you become consumed by the issue. But when you focus on finding solutions, you flip the script. You start asking yourself, what can I do about this? This simple shift in perspective begins to unlock creativity and resourcefulness. You tap into your own inner strength, and suddenly you realize that you have more control over the situation than you thought. The moment you stop feeding the problem with your thoughts and energy, you make room for fresh ideas and new opportunities to emerge. There's an old saying that what you focus on grows. If you continue to focus on your problems, you allow them to grow in your mind. You give them more power, more attention, and more significance. On the other hand, when you focus on solutions, you create space for growth in the right direction. A solution-focused mindset is an optimistic mindset. It doesn't ignore the problem, but it chooses to see the problem as an opportunity for growth, improvement, and learning. Every challenge you face presents a chance to develop resilience, to learn new skills, and to become a stronger version of yourself. When you focus on the solution, you are choosing to grow through the process rather than be defeated by it. In every situation, there are always two choices. You can stay stuck in the problem, or you can move toward the solution. Focusing on the problem only reinforces the sense of powerlessness that often accompanies difficult situations. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the problem is bigger than you and that you have no control. But this is a lie. You always have a choice, even if the choice is simply how you choose to think about the problem. When you shift your focus to solutions, you take back control. You remind yourself that you are resourceful, capable, and empowered. This shift doesn't mean you ignore the reality of the situation. It simply means you approach the situation with the mindset that you can overcome it. Another aspect of focusing on solutions is the importance of asking the right questions. Too often when we encounter a problem, we immediately start asking questions like, why is this happening to me? Or what did I do wrong? These questions are often rooted in frustration, self-blame, or victimhood. But these kinds of questions keep you stuck in the problem. They don't offer any path forward. Instead, start asking yourself questions that guide you towards solutions. What can I do to make this better? What's the next step I can take? Who can I turn to for support? What can I learn from this experience? These solution-oriented questions change your focus from being a passive victim of circumstances to being an active participant in your own resolution. In addition to asking the right questions, focusing on solutions also involves taking decisive action. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by problems because we don't know where to start. But the key to overcoming challenges is not in waiting for the problem to go away on its own. It's in taking consistent, purposeful steps toward the solution. Even if those steps are small, they are still steps forward. Action has a way of breaking through the mental block that often accompanies difficult situations. When you make the choice to take action, no matter how small, you send a powerful message to yourself. You are not powerless. You are capable. You are moving toward a solution, and with every step, you are getting closer to the outcome you desire. Focusing on solutions also requires a mindset shift from fear to faith. Fear tends to magnify problems, making them seem insurmountable and overwhelming. But faith sees the possibility in every situation, no matter how difficult it might appear. Faith gives you the strength to believe that, even in the midst of challenges, there is a way through. Faith helps you trust in the process, even when the solution is not immediately clear. It's about believing that the challenges you face are not permanent and that they will eventually lead to growth, learning, and victory. When you focus on solutions with faith, you open the door to possibilities that you may have previously overlooked. One of the most powerful things about focusing on solutions is that it allows you to maintain a sense of peace and clarity. When you're consumed by problems, it can feel like everything is in chaos. Your thoughts become scattered, your emotions become volatile, and you lose your sense of direction. But when you focus on solutions, you gain clarity. You regain a sense of purpose and calm. You start to see the problem from a new perspective, and you can approach it with a clear mind and a peaceful heart. This clarity enables you to make better decisions, to take more effective action, and to move forward with confidence. The truth is, focusing on solutions is not about pretending the problem doesn't exist or brushing it aside. It's about adopting a mindset that sees the problem as temporary, solvable, and an opportunity for growth. It's about refusing to let the problem define you, and instead using your energy and focus to find the way through. When you commit to focusing on solutions, you empower yourself. You take back control of your life, your circumstances, and your future. You stop being a passive observer of your struggles and become an active participant in your victory. We all know the saying, energy is contagious, and it's something that is so important when it comes to the people we allow into our lives. The people we surround ourselves with have a tremendous impact on our mindset, our emotions, and even our ability to move forward in life. The truth is, not everyone in your life is going to encourage you, lift you up, or support your dreams. Some people, knowingly or unknowingly, will drain your energy and keep you stuck in a cycle of negativity. It's essential to recognize this and make a conscious effort to protect your energy from those who don't contribute to your well-being or growth. When you understand the power of your own energy, you'll realize that your success depends in part on who you allow to share space with you. Energy-draining people tend to focus on problems rather than solutions, complain constantly, and often stir up drama or negativity. They may be friends, family members, or colleagues, and while they may not mean any harm, their constant negativity can have a lasting effect on your mindset. When you spend too much time with people who are constantly complaining or pointing out what's wrong in the world, you may begin to adopt a similar perspective. Their negativity becomes infectious, and soon you find yourself consumed by the same worries, fears, and doubts that they hold. Instead of helping you overcome obstacles, they contribute to the weight of the problems you're facing. It's critical to be aware of this and take the necessary steps to guard your energy and mental space from being overtaken by negativity. You must understand that not all people are meant to walk with you on your journey. Not everyone is capable of encouraging you in the ways you need, and not everyone will have your best interests at heart. Some people may even try to discourage you, often out of fear, jealousy, or a lack of understanding. They may criticize your goals, undermine your dreams, or fill your mind with doubt and insecurity. These energy-draining individuals will convince you that your ambitions are too big, your dreams too unrealistic, and your efforts a waste of time. It's important to recognize that these comments come not from a place of truth, but from their own limitations and fears. Their inability to see your vision should not stop you from pursuing it. Don't let them take away your belief in yourself or your potential. The key to protecting your energy is learning to set boundaries with these individuals. Boundaries are a way of saying, I value my peace of mind and emotional well-being, and I will not allow anyone to rob me of it. This might mean distancing yourself from certain people who drain your energy. It doesn't necessarily mean cutting them out of your life completely, but rather creating a healthy distance to protect yourself. It could be as simple as limiting the time you spend with them or not engaging in negative conversations. You have the right to choose who you spend your time with and whose energy you invite into your life. If someone is consistently draining you, it's important to take steps to protect your peace. When you begin to set boundaries and limit your exposure to negative influences, you will notice a shift in your own energy. You will feel lighter, more focused, and more motivated to pursue your goals. Your mindset will shift from one of survival to one of thriving. Surrounding yourself with positive, uplifting people who encourage you and believe in your potential will have a direct impact on your attitude and the actions you take. These individuals will inspire you to take bold steps, push past your comfort zone, and believe that anything is possible. Their positive energy will feed your own drive, and together you will rise higher than you ever could alone. It's also important to recognize that not only do you need to protect yourself from others, but you must also manage your own energy. You can't control what others bring into your life, but you can control how you respond to them. If you allow the negativity of others to affect your own energy, you are giving them power over you. Instead of reacting emotionally, take a moment to pause, breathe, and choose a response that aligns with your values and goals. If someone is trying to drain your energy, don't engage in their negativity. Respond with grace, positivity, and confidence, and choose to direct your attention toward the solutions and opportunities that align with your vision. Another powerful way to protect your energy is to become intentional about the people you allow into your inner circle. Your inner circle should be made up of individuals who challenge you to be your best, who support your dreams, and who celebrate your successes. These are the people who will pick you up when you fall, encourage you when you're discouraged, and remind you of your worth when you forget. If your circle is filled with negativity and energy-draining individuals, it's time to reassess and make changes. Look for people who inspire you, who push you to think bigger, and who encourage you to take action. The energy of your circle will have a profound impact on your ability to succeed. It's also crucial to remember that you don't owe anyone your energy. You are under no obligation to engage with people who bring you down or steal your joy. Sometimes people will try to guilt into giving them your time and energy, but it's important to prioritize your own well-being. If someone is constantly draining you without offering anything of value in return, it's okay to distance yourself, even if it's a family member or close friend. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's an act of self-care and self-respect. You can't pour from an empty cup, so taking care of your own mental and emotional health is essential for being able to show up fully for others and for your dreams. The bottom line is that your energy is one of your most valuable assets. It determines how productive, successful, and happy you can be. By recognizing the people who drain your energy and actively setting boundaries with them, you create space for the people who will uplift you and encourage you on your journey. Protecting your energy is an essential part of protecting your peace and your purpose. When you focus on preserving your energy and surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, you set yourself up for success and fulfillment in life. We all face challenges. Some may seem insurmountable, some may feel like they will never end. But the key truth that we must always hold on to is that we are bigger than our problems. No matter how big or overwhelming the issue might seem in the moment, it does not define who you are or your ultimate potential. Problems are temporary, but the strength, resilience, and power within you are permanent. Your value, your worth, and your future are not contingent upon the obstacles you face today. They are rooted in who you are, in your spirit, and in the vision you hold for your life. Too often when faced with a difficult situation, we begin to believe that the problem has more control over us than we have over it. We get lost in the enormity of the issue and start seeing ourselves as small and insignificant in comparison. But in truth, every problem is simply an opportunity to tap into your inner strength and rise above. When you recognize that you are bigger than any challenge, you shift from a victim mindset to a victor mindset. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is just surviving the storm, and you start seeing yourself as someone who is capable of weathering it and coming out stronger on the other side. The first step in understanding that you are bigger than your problems is to realize that problems do not define you. The issue you're dealing with might be big, but you are bigger. What defines you is not the difficulty you're facing, but how you respond to it. You have the power to choose how you react. If you choose to see the challenge as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to develop, you shift the power back to yourself. Instead of feeling helpless, you feel empowered. The more you reinforce the belief that your problems are just temporary setbacks and not permanent obstacles, the easier it will be to move through them with grace, resilience, and faith. Another important point to consider is that you are a work in progress. The problems you face today are shaping you into the person you are becoming. Every challenge, every struggle, and every setback is teaching you valuable lessons that are necessary for your growth. It's easy to become discouraged and frustrated when things aren't going your way, but remember that these experiences are refining you. Think about the moments when you faced challenges in the past and how you grew stronger as a result. You may not have seen it in the moment, but now looking back, you can see that each difficulty was a stepping stone toward the person you are today. The same is true for the problems you're facing now. They are preparing you for something greater. One way to remind yourself that you are bigger than your problems is to practice gratitude. It's difficult to feel overwhelmed by your challenges when you are actively focusing on the things you're thankful for. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. When you make a habit of counting your blessings, you start to realize how much you already have and how far you've come. Even when facing difficult circumstances, there is always something to be grateful for, whether it's your health, the love of family and friends, or the lessons you've learned along the way. Gratitude helps you see the bigger picture and reminds you that your problems are just one part of your journey, not the whole story. It's also important to remember that you are not alone in your struggles. Everyone faces challenges, and you can draw strength from knowing that you are part of a greater community. You're bigger than your problems, not just because of your individual strength, but because you have access to a network of people who can support you. Lean on your family, your friends, your mentors, or even your spiritual beliefs to remind yourself that you have a support system. You are not meant to face your struggles in isolation. The people who love you and care about you want to see you succeed and will help you rise above the difficulties you are facing. Remember, sometimes when we're overwhelmed, we just need a reminder that we are not alone and that there is strength in community. Another way to reinforce the belief that you're bigger than your problems is through positive self-talk. The words you speak to yourself are incredibly powerful. If you constantly tell yourself that you can't overcome your problems or that the obstacles you face are insurmountable, you are affirming that defeat. On the other hand, when you speak words of strength, encouragement, and empowerment, you remind yourself of your capacity to overcome anything. Start affirming statements like, "I am bigger than this challenge." Or, "This too shall pass," and you'll begin to see a shift in how you perceive your struggles. Positive self-talk reinforces the belief that you have the power within you to handle whatever comes your way. You also need to remember that challenges are part of life's natural ebb and flow. No one is exempt from facing difficulties, whether it's in the form of career setbacks, health challenges, or personal loss. However, the difference between those who get stuck in their problems and those who rise above them is the mindset. If you approach challenges with the belief that they are temporary and that you are bigger than them, you will naturally be able to face them with more resilience. This perspective shifts the narrative from one of helplessness to one of empowerment. It is not the challenge itself that defines your future, but how you respond to it. You have the ability to overcome and transcend any obstacle that comes your way. Finally, never underestimate the power of perseverance. Even when problems seem overwhelming and insurmountable, the ability to keep moving forward step by step is one of the greatest strengths you possess. Perseverance allows you to push through difficult times, knowing that you are bigger than the challenge and that you will overcome it. Often the most successful people are not the ones who never face problems, but those who simply refuse to give up, no matter how hard the journey may seem. When you persist in the face of adversity, you prove to yourself that you are indeed bigger than your problems. Keep pressing forward, because with every step you are growing, learning, and becoming more the person you were always meant to be. Faith and fear are two powerful forces that can both influence the way we see and experience the world. While fear often brings doubt, hesitation, and insecurity, faith brings hope, confidence, and strength. Choosing faith over fear is a decision that can transform your life because it determines how you respond to challenges, setbacks, and uncertainties. Faith allows you to move forward in the face of uncertainty, while fear keeps you stuck in place. It's easy to let fear dominate your life when things aren't going well or when you're facing the unknown. But when you choose faith over fear, you open the door to new possibilities, growth, and transformation. One of the most significant aspects of choosing faith over fear is that faith shifts your perspective. Fear often magnifies problems, making them seem insurmountable, while faith gives you the ability to see challenges as opportunities for growth and strength. When you approach life with fear, you tend to focus on what could go wrong. You second guess yourself, you hold back, and you limit your potential. But when you choose faith, you focus on what could go right. Faith allows you to take risks, to step into the unknown with the belief that things will work out for your good. It creates a mindset that sees possibilities rather than limitations, and it allows you to move forward even when the path is unclear. Faith also helps you to overcome the paralyzing effects of fear. Fear can leave you stuck, unable to move forward because you become consumed by worst-case scenarios and negative thoughts. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and powerless in the face of fear. But faith doesn't ignore the presence of fear. It acknowledges it and chooses to move forward anyway. Faith is the antidote to fear because it empowers you to take action despite the uncertainty. When you choose faith, you take the first step even when you can't see the entire staircase. Faith doesn't require you to have all the answers or a clear plan. It simply requires you to trust in the process and take action. The challenge with fear is that it often thrives in the unknown. The more you try to control every aspect of your life, the more fearful you become of losing that control. But faith requires you to surrender control and trust that everything will unfold in the way it's meant to. Choosing faith over fear means releasing the need to control every outcome and embracing the trust that whatever happens is for your highest good. This doesn't mean that you stop planning or preparing, but rather that you allow space for faith to guide you through uncertainty. When you choose faith, you trust that the universe, God, or whatever higher power you believe in has a greater plan for you than you could ever envision on your own. Another powerful aspect of choosing faith over fear is the peace it brings. Fear breeds anxiety, worry, and restlessness, and it can consume your mind and spirit. But faith brings peace, even in the midst of the storm. When you trust that things will work out, you can rest in the assurance that you are not alone in your struggles. Faith allows you to release your worries and surrender them to a higher power, knowing that you are being guided every step of the way. Instead of being overwhelmed by fear, you find a sense of calm that helps you navigate through the challenges of life with clarity and confidence. Choosing faith over fear also involves taking a step back and seeing the bigger picture. Often, when we are faced with challenges, our minds focus on the immediate obstacles and the pain we're experiencing in the moment. We get lost in the discomfort and our fears amplify. But faith allows you to zoom out and recognize that the current challenge is just one chapter in the larger story of your life. Faith gives you the perspective to see beyond the current difficulty and trust that you will come out stronger on the other side. It reminds you that everything is temporary and no problem lasts forever. Faith helps you to see your life through the lens of hope, knowing that this challenge too shall pass. In addition to all the internal benefits of choosing faith, faith also has the power to inspire others. When you choose faith over fear, you become a beacon of light for those around you. Your faith in the face of adversity can encourage others to do the same. When people see you navigating through difficult situations with strength and grace, it inspires them to rise above their own challenges. Faith is contagious. It spreads from person to person, uplifting those in your circle and empowering them to trust in themselves and in the process of life. By choosing faith, you not only transform your own life, but you also create a ripple effect that inspires others to believe in the goodness of life and the power of their own faith. Lastly, choosing faith over fear requires ongoing practice. It's not always easy to choose faith, especially when fear feels overwhelming and real. However, the more you practice choosing faith, the more natural it becomes. It starts with small steps, choosing to trust in one situation, then another, and slowly building that muscle of faith. Over time, you begin to notice that faith becomes your default response, even in the face of uncertainty. The more you choose faith, the more you will see the positive outcomes that result from trusting in the process. Each act of faith builds your confidence, and the more you trust, the more you experience the rewards that faith brings. The past is something we all carry with us. It shapes our experiences, informs our decisions, and sometimes even holds us back from fully stepping into our potential. However, one of the most important lessons we can learn in life is that the past does not define your future. The experiences you've gone through, the mistakes you've made, or the pain you've felt are all part of your story. But they do not have to be the determining factor in where you go from here. The future is not a continuation of your past unless you allow it to be. You have the power to create a new narrative and move beyond the limitations that your past may place on you. One of the most powerful aspects of letting go of the past is that it allows you to break free from the cycle of self-blame and guilt. Many people live their lives weighed down by past mistakes, wrong choices, or things they wish they could have done differently. They spend so much energy focusing on what they could have done better that they fail to realize that they are not their mistakes. You are not defined by the things you have done in the past. Your actions don't determine your worth. In fact, your past mistakes are simply stepping stones for your growth. When you understand that your past does not dictate your future, you are free to release any guilt or shame that has been holding you back, and you can step into the future with a renewed sense of purpose. The past can often cloud our vision, preventing us from seeing the opportunities that lie ahead. When we continue to look backward, we miss the beauty of what lies in front of us. Many people are stuck in a pattern of reliving their past, revisiting old wounds, rehashing old arguments, and rethinking missed opportunities. But the truth is, the past is gone, and what remains is the present moment. It's important to recognize that the future is not set in stone. It's still being written. Every day is a new opportunity to make different choices, to take a different path, and to rewrite your story. When you release the past, you free yourself to embrace the unknown and explore the possibilities that the future holds. The key to breaking free from the past is to shift your mindset. It starts with changing the way you perceive your past experiences. Instead of seeing them as failures or setbacks, see them as valuable lessons that have shaped the person you are today. Your past doesn't have to be a prison that holds you back. Rather, it can be the fuel that propels you forward. By reframing your experiences, you turn your past into a source of strength rather than a weight that holds you down. Every mistake you made, every hardship you faced, and every challenge you overcame has contributed to the person you are now. It has made you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Your past is not a chain, it's the foundation upon which you can build something new and powerful. Another important aspect of releasing the past is learning to forgive. Not only others, but also yourself. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools you can use to let go of the past and move forward. Holding on to resentment, anger, or regret only keeps you stuck in the past. It creates a cycle of negativity that prevents you from fully experiencing the present and building the future you want. When you forgive others, you free yourself from the emotional baggage they may have placed on you. But when you forgive yourself, you acknowledge that you are human, that mistakes are part of life, and that you are deserving of growth, healing, and second chances. By choosing to forgive and move on, you release the emotional weight that comes with holding on to past hurts, and you open yourself up to the possibility of a brighter future. It's also essential to understand that the past does not have to dictate your identity. Many people define themselves based on the events or circumstances they have experienced. They might say, I am the person who failed. I am the person who was betrayed. Or I am the person who lost. But this is not who you are at your core. Your identity is not wrapped up in what happened to you. Your identity is rooted in who you are becoming. The future is not a repeat of the past. It is an opportunity to redefine who you are. You can choose to be someone who learns from their past, someone who grows stronger because of their experiences. The moment you detach your sense of self from past events is the moment you take full control of your future. Your identity is shaped by the decisions you make moving forward, not by what happened in the past. Letting go of the past also involves learning to focus on the present. The more you focus on today, the more empowered you become. The present moment is all you truly have. It's where the real power lies. Every choice you make today will have an impact on tomorrow. It's in the present that you can create the life you desire by being mindful of your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions. In the present, you set the stage for a future that is aligned with your goals and dreams. When you focus on the here and now, you give yourself the opportunity to create positive momentum. The past is behind you, but today is an open field of possibilities. Lastly, embracing the truth that the past doesn't define your future allows you to set new goals and create new dreams for yourself. If you continue to carry the baggage of the past, you will never be able to move forward with the clarity and enthusiasm required to pursue new dreams. But once you release that weight, you give yourself the space to dream again. You open yourself to new opportunities, new relationships, and new adventures that may have once seemed impossible. The future is filled with limitless potential, and by letting go of the past, you unlock the door to a world of possibilities. Your future is waiting for you, and it is brighter than you can imagine. One of the most profound lessons we can learn in life is the power of living in the present. It's easy to get caught up in the past, dwelling on past mistakes, regrets, or missed opportunities. Alternatively, we often get lost in the future, consumed by worry, fear, or the anxiety of what might happen. But the truth is, the present moment is the only time we truly have. Living in the present means embracing the here and now and learning to be fully aware and engaged with the current moment. It's a choice to let go of the distractions of the past and the uncertainty of the future, and instead focus on the beauty and possibilities that exist in the present moment. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the lessons from the past or abandoning your goals for the future. It means giving your full attention to what's happening right now. Often we let the past steal our joy. We replay old mistakes or situations over and over in our minds, wishing we could go back and do things differently. We may even feel regretful for things we didn't do or for opportunities we missed. This habit of living in the past prevents us from experiencing the fullness of life as it is now. Instead of appreciating the present moment, we're lost in a time that no longer exists. When you focus too much on the past, you allow it to control your present, making it harder to enjoy the life that is unfolding in front of you. Similarly, we often allow the future to rob us of peace and happiness. We worry about what's to come, about whether we'll be successful, happy, or financially stable. We create scenarios in our minds of worst-case outcomes, and we fear the unknown. But the reality is, most of what we worry about never happens. Worrying about the future only robs us of the ability to enjoy the present. It distracts us from the blessings and opportunities that are right in front of us. By focusing too much on what may happen in the future, we miss the beauty of today. The present is where life truly happens, and it's in the present that we have the power to make choices, take action, and create the future we desire. Being present doesn't mean that you should stop planning for the future or reflect on the past for lessons, but it means choosing to engage fully with your life as it is right now. When you live in the present, you are more likely to make conscious decisions that align with your values and purpose. It allows you to be mindful of your actions and reactions, ensuring that your choices are intentional. Living in the present moment means acknowledging where you are right now and accepting it, without being overwhelmed by what's happened before or what might happen in the future. It's a practice of living intentionally, of embracing the now and making the most of the opportunities in front of you. One of the key aspects of living in the present is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves bringing your full attention to what you're doing right now, whether you're eating, talking with someone, or simply walking outside. It's about being aware of your surroundings, your thoughts, and your emotions in the current moment. Mindfulness allows you to truly experience life as it happens, without judgment or distraction. When you practice mindfulness, you shift from a state of autopilot to a state of active participation in your life. Instead of rushing through each moment, you slow down and take it in. This helps you appreciate the simple things, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of birds chirping, or the laughter of a friend. These small moments, when experienced fully, bring a sense of peace and contentment that transcends both the past and the future. Living in the present also cultivates gratitude. When you're focused on the present, you naturally become more aware of the blessings you have right now. Often we take our current blessings for granted because we're too busy chasing after what's next or longing for what's gone. But by shifting your focus to the present, you begin to see the abundance around you. Gratitude allows you to shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. It reminds you that there is always something to be thankful for, even in difficult circumstances. When you focus on what you have in the present, rather than what you lack or what could be, you open your heart to joy and fulfillment. Another powerful benefit of living in the present is that it helps reduce stress and anxiety. Anxiety often stems from worrying about the future, while stress can be rooted in unresolved issues from the past. But when you're living in the moment, you learn to release those pressures and let go of things beyond your control. Living in the present encourages you to focus on what you can do right now, rather than getting caught up in all the what ifs. It empowers you to act, rather than remain paralyzed by fear or uncertainty. When you let go of the weight of the past and the future, you make room for peace, calm, and clarity. Finally, living in the present allows you to experience life more fully and with greater joy. We often rush through life, always thinking ahead to what's next. But in doing so, we miss the magic of the present moment. Each day brings with it opportunities to connect with others, to learn, to grow, and to experience something new. When you live in the present, you begin to notice the little things, those moments that bring you peace, joy, and fulfillment. Life is happening right now, and by being present, you allow yourself to fully engage with the world around you. It's in the present that you have the power to create memories, enjoy relationships, and cultivate experiences that will last a lifetime. Choosing to live in the present is a practice that requires intention and commitment. It's easy to fall into the habit of worrying about the past or the future, but by making a conscious effort to focus on the here and now, you give yourself the gift of a more fulfilling, meaningful life. The present is where you have the power to make change, to embrace your full potential, and to experience life in its truest form. It's a decision to stop living on autopilot and to start living with purpose, presence, and joy. When you live in the present, you're not merely existing, you're truly living. The people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our lives. The energy, attitudes, and mindsets of those around us often shape our own perspectives and beliefs. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is crucial for maintaining a healthy, optimistic, and growth-oriented mindset. Positive influences inspire, encourage, and uplift us, while negative influences can drain our energy, discourage our progress, and create unnecessary obstacles in our lives. The power of the people you spend your time with cannot be overstated. Who you surround yourself with plays a major role in shaping who you become. The first step in surrounding yourself with positive influences is to evaluate the relationships in your life. Take a moment to assess the people you spend the most time with and ask yourself, do they lift you up or bring you down? Do they support your dreams and aspirations, or do they undermine your efforts? Healthy, positive relationships are based on mutual support, encouragement, and respect. When you surround yourself with people who are aligned with your values and who support your vision for your life, you create a nurturing environment where growth can flourish. If you find that certain relationships are toxic, draining, or negative, it may be time to distance yourself from them and prioritize those who bring out the best in you. Positive influences can come in many forms, not just through friendships and family. It's also important to surround yourself with positive role models and mentors, people who have achieved success, who inspire you with their actions, and who offer wisdom and guidance. Mentors help to shape your thinking, offer valuable advice, and provide a different perspective on challenges. They challenge you to think bigger, push beyond your limits, and strive for your fullest potential. Having a mentor or role model who exemplifies positivity and resilience can be a game changer in your personal and professional growth. Their example can give you the motivation and the encouragement you need to keep moving forward, even when things get tough. Another way to surround yourself with positive influences is by consuming positive content. In today's digital age, we are constantly exposed to information, news, and entertainment that can shape our mindset. Whether it's through social media, books, podcasts, or videos, the content we consume has the power to influence our mood, thoughts, and attitudes. Choosing to engage with positive, uplifting, and educational content allows you to feed your mind with encouragement and inspiration. This can take many forms, from listening to motivational speakers, reading books that encourage personal growth, or watching documentaries that expand your perspective. When you intentionally consume content that aligns with your goals and values, you reinforce a positive mindset and create a sense of empowerment in your life. Furthermore, surrounding yourself with positive influences means intentionally avoiding negativity. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to fall into the trap of focusing on the negative, whether it's negative news, negative people, or negative self-talk. This negativity can seep into your life and affect your outlook on the world, your goals, and your own worth. By consciously choosing to protect yourself from negativity, you create a shield around your mind that helps to preserve your mental and emotional well-being. This could involve limiting exposure to negative media, avoiding toxic conversations, or simply choosing to change the subject when others focus on complaints or pessimism. By controlling the sources of negativity in your life, you ensure that only positivity and growth can thrive. In addition to avoiding negativity, it's equally important to cultivate and nurture positive relationships. Just as negative influences can weigh you down, positive influences can elevate your life. Building relationships with people who inspire you, who believe in your potential, and who encourage your growth will create an environment where you can thrive. These relationships are based on mutual respect, trust, and admiration, and they can serve as a constant source of support. When you are surrounded by people who genuinely want the best for you and who challenge you to be your best self, you begin to realize your own potential. Positive relationships act as a mirror, reflecting the strength and greatness that you may not always see in yourself. As you surround yourself with those who encourage you, you'll notice your own self-confidence and belief in your abilities growing. It's also important to recognize that positive influences aren't limited to the people around you. The environment you choose to be in can have a significant impact on your mindset and overall outlook. For example, spending time in spaces that inspire creativity, peace, and growth can positively affect your thoughts and actions. Whether it's spending time in nature, creating a space in your home that promotes peace and relaxation, or engaging in activities that nurture your well-being, your environment plays a crucial role in shaping your mindset. A positive environment, both physical and emotional, is one that fosters growth, joy, and inspiration. Surrounding yourself with spaces that reflect your values and aspirations creates a conducive atmosphere for positive thinking and personal development. Lastly, remember that you are also a positive influence in the lives of others. As you strive to surround yourself with uplifting people and experiences, you also have the opportunity to be that positive influence for someone else. By offering support, encouragement, and kindness, you become a source of light for others who may be in need of inspiration or hope. The energy you put out into the world can come back to you in unexpected ways. When you surround yourself with positivity, you not only elevate your own life, but also create a ripple effect that spreads to those around you. Your positive energy can inspire others to live with intention, pursue their dreams, and face challenges with resilience and courage. In conclusion, surrounding yourself with positive influences is one of the most powerful things you can do for your personal growth and well-being. It's a choice to actively seek out relationships, content, and environments that uplift you and contribute to your success. Positive influences help to build your confidence, inspire your creativity, and propel you toward your goals. By cultivating these positive influences, avoiding negativity, and becoming a source of encouragement for others, you create a life that is filled with hope, joy, and purpose. Your environment and the people around you shape who you become. So choose wisely and allow positivity to guide you toward the life you desire. Dot the path to a fulfilling, successful, and peaceful life begins with the choices we make each day. Our thoughts, our attitudes, and the people we surround ourselves with all play a vital role in shaping our experiences and outcomes. It's crucial that we choose to protect our peace, choose faith over fear, and let go of the burdens of the past. By living in the present and surrounding ourselves with positive influences, we create an environment that nurtures growth, joy, and success. Remember, you are not defined by your past, nor should you be held back by fear or doubt. The future is waiting for you to step into it with confidence and trust. Choose to believe in the power of today. Embrace the opportunities before you. And surround yourself with people who believe in your potential as much as you believe in theirs. As you continue your journey, always remember that every day is a new opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to create the life you want. It's up to you to take ownership of your thoughts, your actions, and your relationships. So don't tell people about your problems. Tell them about your dreams, your goals, and your determination to rise above any challenge. Focus on what is possible and fill your life with positive energy. With faith, perseverance, and a mindset focused on the present, you are unstoppable. Embrace the power of now, trust the process, and let your life be a testament to the incredible potential within you.